Hi, I'm Allie,
And I'm Matt.
and we are from Bakersfield, California, and we recently quit our jobs and are now traveling the Americas in our big red van, Clifford.
So we converted Clifford in about 6 weeks, so we definitely did it in a hurry. We tried to capture as much footage as we can, but if you have any questions about how we built something or how we did some piece of the van, please leave us some comments or questions. We'd love to make more videos detailing exactly how we did it. So we were working on plumbing and we got the sink installed. We spent a couple hours at Home Depot though trying to figure out exactly how we were going to get all of the plumbing connections to work. The hardest one was the drain. We just wanted to be able to get to some flexible tubing that I can run down and go through the top of one of our jerry can lids. And that was not an easy task. The pump side of the equation was pretty easy. We were able to find some threaded connections that fit on there, and then to a barb and into a flexible hose that's going to tie into the faucet. But on the drain side, let me take this all apart. What we found was that we needed a standard kind of drain connection, which has this little lip on here, and this is supposed to fit up onto.
I'm gonna go this way because the sun is kind of weird. Alright, better.
Cooler too. So we needed a standard drain connection. We just got like a 12-inch section of straight pipe. It's like $1. You find this in a lot of P-trap configurations too. But you have to have that little lip to fit up against the bottom of the drain. The issue is this is not a standard PVC size, so you can't go straight into a bushing or something like that. Even though it's 1 inch, that would not seal in there. It's not the way this is designed to work. It's supposed to fit on the inside. So we had to kind of cobble together a lot of different pieces. So the first piece was this like standard drain connector, which I just cut. We then got a drain to Schedule 40 PVC adapter. So this is where we get to regular Schedule 40 1.5 or 1.25 depending on your drain size. So I chopped this super short. We can put the coupler on here. Has a little O-ring so it seals. And then from there, we're going to a standard PVC bushing. This is 1.5 inch down to 3/4 inch, because we got 3/4 inch ID. I think 1/2 inch ID tubing. 3/4 inch ID tubing. And from there, we have a little barb adapter that we're picked up that goes 3/4 threaded to 3/4 barbed. So all of this under the drain is going to take up about that much room just to get it down to hose connection. But that was the best solution we could find. We spent quite a while browsing the sink section and all of the pipe fitting sections in Home Depot before we were able to come up with this. So hopefully that helps someone who's also struggling to figure out how to just do like a simple jerry can setup, because everything's set up Home Depot to tie into a sewer system, and it all uses different connections. So something we struggled with. Hopefully it saves you some time.
What you doing?
So we needed to make some modifications to the water system. I found this hose, so you can see the size it was originally and the size it is now, and it's really flimsy. So I think what happened is this is the section between the pump and the accumulator tank. So it was at pump pressure, it's like 50, 60 pounds. And I think while we were in Oklahoma, it was blocked in on both sides and it heated up to like 100 degrees, 110 degrees. And that temperature increase, like, one, vinyl tubing loses strength the hotter it gets, and that fluid would have expanded, and I think it just like ballooned this stuff up. So this is the size it was originally. This is the size it is now.
Not ideal.
Not ideal. So I was worried it was gonna let go and, you know, dump a bunch of water under here. So I'm gonna swap this out for a braided stainless faucet line instead. So that's what we're doing.
In the Lowe's parking lot.
Yeah, might as well do it here in case 30 inches is not the size I need. I'll just run it back in there and get a different size. So I just want to explain our plumbing setup in a little bit more detail. So the front jerry can you see here is our freshwater jerry can. This is the suction line that comes up into our 12 volt RV water pump. It's a Seaflow model. I got it off of Amazon. The discharge of that runs through this, I think it's just braided steel sink tubing. Initially we had a vinyl tubing here. I use the same stuff I use on the suction, but that swelled up and looked like it was ready to burst and could potentially leak a lot of water inside the van. I'm not sure whether that happened because of the pressure of the pump, because initially when I put it in it was okay, but I think what happened was it was pressured up and we were stopped in Oklahoma and the inside of the van got really hot, like probably it's like 110 degrees or so. And I think that added temperature, for one, weakens vinyl tubing, and then for two, causes that water to expand, which swelled it up to the point where it was close to failing. So we replaced that with this braided stainless steel. Also, in the back, you can see the black canister is an accumulator tank. So we didn't have that in the initial design. What that does is that takes pressure from the pump and kind of stores it so that it can release it over a longer period of time. It's supposed to stop the pump from turning on and off so much. With our RO system, which is constantly kind of taking a small amount of water whenever it's creating RO water, we found that this pump was turning on and off almost constantly while we were refilling our RO system. So we added that, which caused me to kind of have to shuffle around some of the orientation of stuff, add in this elbow, things like that, just to make everything fit. But overall, not too big of a challenge. Coming off the accumulator tank, you see another steel braided hose back there. That runs up to the sink. I have it run to the hot water side, the left side, and then the right side of the faucet just has a PVC plug on it that prevents you from running water through the faucet and back out into the cabinet. So there's only one temperature here, and that's cold, and it comes on the left handle of the faucet. The RO system takes water through this red line here. There's a little T and valve that ties onto this faucet, so you can't see it because it's all behind the sink body itself, but it just pulls water off of there, does its magic. The yellow line runs over to the holding tank, which we have under here, and then the black line is the drain, because an RO membrane lets some water through, but some water has to pass through it to sweep off impurities and keep the membrane clean. We ran that back to the inlet just because we're using very clean water for the most part, obviously already potable water, so I'm not too concerned about cycling up the impurities. Something that you wouldn't want to do for sure if you were running, you know, a dirtier water stream through there, because you'd be... So it pretty much covers the supply side of the system. The drain side of the system was a little bit challenging to get set up at first. I think we have a video of how we went from a sink fitting down to something that we could attach vinyl tubing to. You can see some of the vinyl tubing here, and some of the PVC fittings here that we used to make that attachment. But basically just the vinyl tubing kind of loops, makes a little bit of a P-trap, and then dumps into that back tank, which is our gray tank. We have had some challenges with just like gray tank smells and trying to control that. We found a lot of people online are using like a water softener, like it's Calgon and Dawn, That's helped a little bit, but we find the best thing is just if we can dump it pretty frequently, it kind of helps keep that under control. But if you have any really good tips on that, especially since the system isn't totally sealed, it's really just vinyl tubing running through the top of the jerry can lid, that would be great. So let us know.
If you like this video, what should you do?
Subscribe!
Subscribe! Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions, if you're like, what the heck, what did they do? They skipped over this part. Hit us up. We'll make sure to respond. Oh, Amber, you're such a good girl.